Coming up, I'll give you an update on the jobs for those of you whose careers are on hold. I can't talk. Hope I figure it out before we get started. I'll also tell you about what will determine your success. It all starts right now. If you didn't think I was coming to you live and you saw that open, now you know it's live. That happens sometimes. And the good news is the brain bails you out. Don't worry about flubbing. We all do it. You are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do it, and how you can get there. I'm Ken, I think. What do you do when you flub? You keep going. You laugh about it. It's not the end of the world. I got to tell you, though, what was so funny is I knew as that was happening, that I saw it happening in slow motion. It happens sometimes. It's rare. In fact, I don't know that I've ever done that, Joe, ever. In all the years you and I have been together, I don't know that I've ever just totally got tongue-tied while trying to do an open. So there it goes. So I hope that encourages you. There's some teaching, by the way, in real time. What do you do, by the way, when that happens?
Endeavor to persevere.
You just own it. You knew that I was tongue-tied. Joe knew. Nathan knew. It just is what it is. What do you do? Well, you either act embarrassed and try to act like it didn't happen, which that doesn't do anybody any favors, or you just own it. And that's kind of fun. Now, okay, quick aside, and we'll get on with the show. I've been doing this long enough to where it's really hard for me to get embarrassed on the air. You know what I mean? Because you just get comfortable. So I understand some of you are going, oh, it's easy for you to say. So I will at least acknowledge that for me, it's like, okay, let's have some fun with it. For you, you might want to die after the fact, but here's my point. Just own it, and you can throw up off stage later. But here's why you want to own it. And even though it might kill you, because the audience, you got to think of the audience. You got to think of the audience out there. If you get out there and you get tongue-tied, you're giving your first talk or something like that, or you kind of space out, just own it. The audience knows anyway, and then they'll stay with you. Sometime I'll tell you a story of one of the most embarrassing things I said on a stage in front of 10,000 people. You know, the idea of you say something, you think it's coming out this way, but it comes out another way, and it was college kids, and I lost the entire arena for about 30 seconds. I mean, they were dying, and so you just got to roll with it. That's a fun story in the future. Okay, here we go. What are the jobs that right now are great opportunities for those of you who need to pivot? You need to pivot. Hey, I'm thinking short term. I've got to take care of the basics, the things that are super important. Great article here from U.S. News and World Report. I'm going to roll through these really quickly, and then where you look for these things, okay? Again, delivery or fulfillment, okay? So you got the delivery drivers, and then you got fulfillment for the drivers. These jobs right now are exploding and could be pretty good hourly rates. Again, may not take care of all of your needs, but a good portion of them. So think Amazon, other companies in your area, not just regional, but local companies that need delivery or fulfillment. Healthcare support. I've mentioned this multiple times. Because of the need in healthcare, those who can support healthcare workers, those positions are jumping up. The other way you could support is essential services like groceries, emergency services, pharmacy, banking. So those businesses, more service than ever they're needing. So they're needing people, childcare, grocery shopping, cleaning, yard work, security. These are just some of the jobs that are really spiking. So if some of you need to go, hey, I just got laid off. Unemployment's not going to cover my needs, so I'm going to go over here. I really recommend you do this. And I'm not against someone taking unemployment, but I will say this. If you get laid off and you can move right into something else, even if it's not in your field and it feels like, oh, I'm taking a step backwards, but you're staying active and you're still supporting you and your family, it's so good for your head. So here's the deal. Look at online job boards, community announcements, community job boards, to make sure that you're getting the updates on regional hiring. But that list I just gave you, that's where you need to be looking first. 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. I was so discombobulated and amused at myself to start the program. I forgot to mention, if you want to throw your chat questions in, do that now. We'll get to them. Right there next to me in the video window is where you can fire away. The team will take those questions and shoot them to me here on the laptop. So please do that. Before we jump to the phones, 844-747-2577. I want to make sure I mention our newsletter. We've got a newsletter that comes out, and I'm really proud of it because I worked with the team and I said, listen, I don't want to just do a newsletter and flood the audience with another email. They have to decide whether or not they're going to engage with it or they're going to delete it. And so I said, all right, let's drop it on a Monday and let's help people start the week with some juice. The same kind of stuff we give them on the air. And so I said, every single week they got a chance to start over. So let's do 2 a month, every other Monday, and let's send out some encouragement. Let's send out something that equips them, and let's make it short and sweet and to the point. I like to call it a Snickers bar in the old electronic mail. So go to kencoleman.com/subscribe, kencoleman.com/subscribe, and you can get the email. And here's the deal. If you don't find it valuable, you can unsubscribe. Will not hurt my feelings at all. 844-747-2577. Who needs to call in today? You've been watching the show here on YouTube. Maybe you can listen to the radio program. You joined us on YouTube. You listen to the podcast. You joined us on YouTube. You can call right now. Madison is one phone call away. 844-747-2577. If you've been watching the program, you know I'm here for you. I am on your team. And anything you want to talk about within reason in the space we're in, you're fearful, you're doubtful, you're just depressed. You just need somebody to talk to give you some perspective. I'm your guy. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Charlotte, North Carolina to start today's show. Michelle joins us there. Michelle, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks, Ken, so much for taking my call and for all you do. You're incredible. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. How can I help you today?
Yeah, so I want to preface and say that I'm fortunate I do have a job, but I have been job hunting for quite some time, just looking for growth and new opportunities. And right before COVID-19 really exploded, I was in great conversations with 2 companies. One was a startup, and one was a very established company that actually my mentor is the CEO of. Mm-hmm. And so I was really excited about both these opportunities. We had discussed scoping out a new role for me, and now I really haven't heard anything from either of those opportunities. To be fully transparent, I don't feel like it's the right time to make a move, particularly to the startup opportunity, even if something were to formalize and actually transpire. My question for you is, I would like to stay in touch and follow up so when the timing is right, we could, talk again. Mm-hmm. And 2, possibly even see if they have any part-time work I could do on the side. But what's the best way to reach out and follow up during this time?
And you know these folks personally, at least one of the companies, the CEO is your mentor, correct?
Yes, that one. And the startups, no, I don't know them, but all of the conversations have been very positive. And we left things about a month ago that I should hear back from them in about a week.
Right.
They were really excited about the potential of bringing me in.
Right, but the startup, which you don't want to jump to right now anyway. So let's say they called you today, you don't want to jump anyway.
Right. I just don't feel like it's the right time.
Yeah, okay. So let's say it was the right time. Given what you know now, I'm just curious, if both of them called you today and said, hey, Michelle, we want you, and it was the right time for the startup, which one would you choose? The company of your mentor or the startup?
At first glance, the startup work excites me more.
Why?
Because it's really in my sweet spot, doing so much of my passion. At first glance, anyway, I haven't formalized the opportunity enough with the one from my mentor.
Yeah.
The one with the mentor excites me because of the leadership and knowing the caliber of people and how I would grow in that environment.
Is there an opportunity in that particular company with your mentor to move into your sweet spot if you're not in it initially?
I would imagine, yes. It's a huge global company, and he's a wonderful person to really see people and shape them and grow them. So even if there's not an opportunity today, I could see growth within that company.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. Well, I was just curious. I'm going to keep my answer to what you asked me, but I needed to know that because I'm just really curious. I think the way to communicate in this time is you've got relationships on both sides. There was communication up until about a month ago. Then obviously Corona comes in and that's changed the game a little bit. So I think what I'd like you to do is email and phone call, voicemail, email. These are passive. It's just kind of a touch point. And so I'd leave a voicemail when you probably know they're not there. I would also send an email, and then I'd also do a handwritten note. I think all three of those touches right now are a very classy, non-aggressive way to just drop a note and say, hey, I know the world changed. I know we were having great conversations. If things return to normal soon, and as a result of that, our conversation becomes relevant to continue, I want you to know I'm really still interested, and I appreciate that you were interested at the time, and no need to call me back or contact me right now, but I just wanted you to know I still want to talk if and when that becomes relevant again. Something like that. So very nice and grateful, and show some enthusiasm for a potential conversation, and then let it ride. Because on the one hand, the startup, if they called you, you wouldn't tell them that you're not ready to jump right now. You would just listen. And maybe in listening, you see a part-time way for you to step in and kind of just test the waters. The other thing seems like a really good decision for you, because while it may not offer a sweet spot opportunity right away, it might eventually. So I think that's what you do. And let's just you want to stay on the top of their mind, and just by a nice touch every 3-4 weeks in this season. But to do one right now is not a bad idea. And to do it that way so that they get an email, a voicemail, and a handwritten note all in about, the same 24-hour, 48-hour period. You get 3 touches, but neither one of those are obnoxious, and you're on their mind for at least that moment. Then you kind of see where you stand. Because as they say, listen, right now, everything got put on hold. But we really like you and really want to have a conversation with you when this opens up. You're hoping for something like that, or maybe potentially something more detailed. So that's the way I'd go about it. 844-747-2577. Shoot those chat questions right now so that we can get to those in just a few moments. The phone line's almost full. We have 2 more lines open. Call right now. 844-747-2577. Let's go. San Diego, California is where we go next. Nicole's on the line. Nicole, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hello, good morning. Thank you for taking my call today. And let me just say, I absolutely loved your book, Proximity Principle. It was a wonderful read.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. How can I help you today? Okay, Nicole, let's try something. Let's see if you can adjust that phone or stand still, because you just went completely Matrix on us. Let's try that again.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me okay?
That's wonderful. Go ahead.
Excellent. Yes, so I am calling because I need your help with some clarity. I have been lucky enough to achieve the highest degree, been escaping through different industries, but yet I continue to wake up finding myself restless on, I just am not, hasn't clicked yet. I don't think I've fallen into what I need to be doing. And so some call me a, ideologist or a serial entrepreneur where I just can't quite get it right. And so, that's what I'm calling for today while we're in quarantine. Why not get some clarity? Yeah.
So are you working for yourself now?
Well, I am. I'm an educator and a business owner and a physical therapist. So I do a little bit of everything.
What does that mean? Be more specific. Tell me what your week looks like. You're an educator. What does that mean?
Yes. So I actually teach high school and do that full time. I help my husband run a local business that we've been put on hold, and then I also work as a per diem physical therapist in whatever time I have left.
Yeah. Wow. Which isn't much. You are Superwoman.
It's fun, and I have a 2-year-old, but it's really, really
fun.
fun.
Oh my goodness, you really are. I was kidding. Now I'm serious. You really are Superwoman. So, so it's interesting the way you addressed the question. It felt like you were trying to say, "Hey, Ken, I need help figuring out my entrepreneurial business idea." Is that what I heard?
Well, I wake up in the middle of the night and I think of, oh, this is a great idea. This is a great idea, and that's kind of sometimes how I feel I got myself in trouble in the first place in this current situation, because I all of it seems fascinating, and then once I kind of get into it, I realize, oh, this isn't really what I.
So, what is the current situation? The physical therapy business?
That's just per diem work for a local entity there, which I do love, but it's not. Once I got in there and just the bureaucracy and things, I want to go too much into it. Love it. It's a great on paper,
hold on.
But
So I'm trying to figure out what it is you've done before. Was there a dream business you tried and failed at?
I never, in truth, I've never really done anything for myself.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. It's always been I'm always that person that says yes to go and help everybody else out. So, and that's kind of,
I'm still trying to figure out how I can help you. Are you trying to figure out how to narrow down some ideas that you have right now?
Yeah, because I continue to think of, oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Good.
Oh, should I go back and, should I become a psychologist? What should I do?
Oh, okay, great. All right,
I've made that mistake.
Okay, good. So what you want help with is, do my ideas fit my sweet spot? Are they in my sweet spot? Is this something that I should actually pursue? Okay, give me the top 2 or 3 right now.
I'm definitely thinking of becoming a school counselor. That's one of them. Another one is just kind of starting my own business, either in the coffee industry. And I don't quite have a third. That's kind of what I'm toying with. Oh, no. The third one is administrative position within education.
Interesting. So what you have is you got 2 out of the 3 are still in the education sector. One is a school counselor. So is that more of a guidance counselor?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other one is administrative role in the education system. So stepping out of the teaching role, either into counseling or administrative. And then you got this coffee idea, which what happened is you started down that path and you started to fire away, and then you stopped. Now that's one of 2 reasons. You stopped yourself either because you got scared to talk about it, because that's your brain going, oh, this is a pipe dream, and that's what's been kind of gnawing away at you, or you haven't thought it out enough. Which one is it?
I think I probably haven't thought it out enough. I've thought about it and realized what it would take to get there, seen it firsthand. Yeah. And
what would you do tomorrow, though, if there was absolutely 0 risk?
Oh,
and guaranteed success.
That's a great question.
I know.
Ooh, guaranteed success. Gosh, I think.
Let your heart answer this one.
Ooh.
Turn your brain off for a second, and let's get real, Nicole. You're a dreamer.
I am. That's my problem.
No,
Ken.
It's not your problem. No, it's not. Stop saying that. That's not true. Listen for a second. I'm going to see if I can channel you for a moment. I'm trying to dig inside your heart right now. See, Nicole, you think that being a dreamer is a problem. I think that being a dreamer is beautiful and it's wonderful. What I'm trying to help you see right now is, what's the pattern of your dream? There's something in your past. There's something in your experience of life. There's something in the environment that you've been in your whole life. And there's something that there's a pattern to. There might be 57,000 dreams you've had. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
No, that's pretty close.
Yeah, no, those are 57,000 ideas. I think there's a pattern of 1, 2, or 3 dreams. And I'm suggesting to you that there's a big dream that you have wondered about. And if I took away the risk in this little fantasy scenario and I guaranteed you success, what would you do tomorrow? Say it, Nicole. Maybe for the first time out loud, say it.
I know it would be in the context of helping people, and I think it would be more, like, the more I think about it, I think it would be more as a guidance counselor. Nothing gets me excited about seeing someone just grow. And you know what it is, Ken, as you just said, I think it's because I've kind of been that underdog person that people kind of like, okay, you know, and people that have given me that opportunity, I just exploded in whatever you put me in. And I think that's the problem for myself is, hey, you just give me an opportunity and I'm going to take it. And not only take it, but I'm going to just, you know, propagate what it is.
This is so beautiful. What you just said is so beautiful. Can I ask you a really quick question? I want you to give me a really quick answer. I want you to blurt it out. Why were you the underdog?
Why was I the underdog?
Yeah, you said you've always been the underdog, but yet people have believed in you. Why are you the underdog?
I think it's because truthfully, didn't quite believe in myself, didn't quite have that confidence.
There it is. There it is. I want you to hear what you just said. It takes a lot of courage to own that on a national radio show and live on YouTube, but I'm telling you, Nicole, listen, that's the clue. That's the indicator. The reason you love the idea of being a guidance counselor, and I'm so thrilled it was one of your 3 options. The reason that's what you would do when no risk is in the picture is because you long to give to others what you didn't have for a while.
100%.
I know. And that's what's beautiful. So, Nicole, the good news is we just got really clear. That's stage 1.
We did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, no, listen, thank you for trusting me to just walk through this with you. But here's the deal. So now you're in the school system. That's the good news. You're already in proximity because you're in the education system. So you know a lot of the key people, which means you're not going to have, I don't think, a really big challenge transitioning from teacher to guidance counselor. So now it's just about what do you need to do in stage 2, which is getting qualified. What is it going to take for you to get qualified? You're already connected, which is stage 3. So I'd say get after it, Nicole. And I want you to spend a little bit of time today while it's fresh. If you can't do it right after this phone call, I want you to spend some time today before you go to sleep. And I want you to spend some time writing or make a video or make an audio note on your phone so you can capture the feelings behind the reveal that you just gave to the rest of us, which is you didn't have confidence in yourself and you felt you were the underdog and you had people come in your life and believe in you and they transferred that belief from themselves to you and it was the difference maker and you want to be that belief for others. Expound more on that and all the feelings you had and what those people who did something for you mean to you and how they lifted you. Capture all of that. Because if you capture that before you go to bed tonight, I think what you will have done is come up with your mission. This is the how you help others. So talent is what you do best. Passion is what you love to do, the work itself. She loves counseling. And then mission is the results. So what results are you measuring yourself against? And it's what you just will have recorded that I asked you to record. This teacher made me feel this way. And she did it because she did this. Capture that. Because your story has the ingredients that you will then put together and put on display and pouring into other people. That's it. That's how it works. Hey, can I tell you something right now? I got goosebumps all over me. I just love Nicole's call. That's what it's about right there, folks. And don't ever beat up on yourself for being a dreamer. I don't want to hear that. 844-747-2577. All right, let's roll. To the chat room we go. Tony writes in, what is a good question template for asking friends on Facebook if they know someone in my sweet spot? Or do I ask people random one by one? I don't think there's a template. I just think you have to put it out there. People love, in this day and age, transparency, raw honesty. I do a Facebook post that says, hey, here's the deal. This is what I do best. This is what I love to do. And these are the results that matter to me. My talent, my passion, my mission puts me in this sweet spot right here. Here's where it comes together. This is the type of role that I want to fill, multiple industries or this industry. And I am deciding to go public with this is who I am and what I'm meant to do. And I need your help. I'm looking for any connection that any of you have on here to somebody at this company or in this industry. I don't think it's random one-on-one. I just think that it's always intentional to the masses and to the one-on-ones. But do it that way. People are drawn to conviction. Think about the movies and the TV shows and the books you've read that inspire you. Think about that for a moment. Now, I want you to think about the character or characters in these movies, TV shows, or books that inspire you, the characters themselves. What about their conviction? They at some point in the story, they decide to make a change. They decide to do something. That's the element of every story. The hero of the story overcomes the challenge. That is story 101. And we are drawn to stories because of that element. So remember, when you speak with clarity and conviction, remember clarity, it's very clear, conviction, enthusiasm, passion. People are drawn to that. They want to help if they can. So do it. Let's go to Gloria. I graduated with a degree in sociology in 2018. I've been struggling to figure out what I want to do. I'm good at writing and I love education, but I don't know what to do job-wise. Okay, great. You've got 2 of the 3 indicators filled out. Indicator number 1. These are my 3 indicating questions or clarifying questions in Get Clear. Stage 1. Number 1, what do I do best? Really good at writing. So you've got good verbal skills. What are the other 2 or 3 things that you're really, really good at, better than everything else you do, along with writing? Fill it out. I love education. What you're saying is you love learning yourself, and I'm guessing here that you love to instruct. So those are 2 really clear answers for what work you love to do. What are you passionate about? I love to do this work. The 3rd indicator in Get Clear is what results matter most to you. So think of when you're learning and instructing, what are the results that really, really fire you up? This could be, I like to teach science. So science is part of the result because you're passionate about that topic. But I also love to see kids who struggle or see kids who are apathetic become passionate, or those who struggle to get equipped to press through, whatever it is. What's the result of the work? So we do this work, but all work creates a result. So what is the result that really gives me the juice? Once you have those answers, you essentially have what it takes to write a purpose sentence, which is your why. I was put on this planet to use what I do best, blank, blank, and blank. To do work that I love most, which is blank. To produce a result that matters deeply to me, blank. Very simple purpose sentence right there. And that answers the question, why am I here? To go a step further, I really love for folks after they write that purpose sentence to go, what's the role you want to fill? Think of us all as actors right now, and we're performing for the audiences of people that we run into and bump into and do life with. What's that role you want to play? What's the role? Is it guide? Instructor? Collaborator? Creator? Performer? Caretaker? Healer? Try the 1-word exercise. And write down multiple words that align with the information that you just have listed out in the 3 indicators of Get Clear. That's how it works, folks. It works for everybody, I promise. 844-747-2577. Okay, going to roll along here. Opened up the show with this. What is the factor that determines 95% of your success? The factor that determines 95% of your failure. One factor. Who you hang out with. That's it. The people you spend most of your time with determine 95% of your success or failure. Whew, that's powerful. Some of you right now are running that through your head, and you're thinking about the people you spend the most time with, and you're going, uh-oh. I want that to be a wake-up call for some of you. Some of you are going, man, good news. I got a good shot here. Real good shot. Ken says 95% because you're hanging out with good people. Some of you are in the middle going, I don't hang out with bad people, but I also don't spend a lot of time with good people. I'm just kind of a loner and just kind of a in and out spectator. How could I be more intentional with who I spend time with? It's a really big question. So this isn't my theory, by the way. Dr. David McClellan of Harvard has done the studying on this. He's a sociology doctorate, and they've done research as a part of a 75-year-old Harvard study that bore this truth out. The science says it, not Ken. I didn't say it. It's not my theory. It's not my opinion. It's not a hypothesis. It's the truth. The people you spend the most time with determine 95% of your success or failure. You parents that are listening, not one of you would say, hey, listen, I'm going to drop you off at the mall and I want you to find the losers and spend time with them. You wouldn't drop your kid off at the high school football game and go, hey, listen, can you hang out with the guys that are doing drugs under the bleachers? That'd be great. Could you spend some time with them? It'd be wonderful. No parent would dream of saying such a thing. And yet you're not intentional in your own relationships. You continue to spend time with the negative Nelly at the office. Or doubting Doug, who can just suck the life out of any positive conversation that ever happens. Or fearful Frank, who every time you're around Frank, he puts you in a constant state of anxiety. You keep spending time with these folks. Why? They have more impact on you than anything else. Not even what you read, not even the news you watch, the people you hang out with. So be intentional today. Now, one little aside here. If you really grasp this and you determine that you're not spending time with the right people, the breakup is necessary. You thought, well, I got married, I've been married 20 years, it's been a long time since high school, I don't want to break up with anybody. You're going to have to break up with some people. But let me make it maybe a little easier. If you decide to go forward, there are certain people you won't have to break up with because they won't go where you're going. They just won't. Certain friends won't follow you. So it doesn't have to be a confrontational thing, but you may have to decide, I'm no longer hanging out with you, not because I broke up with you or I'm being mean. I just don't have time to hang out with you because I'm over here doing this. You want to see me, come on over and join the party. And the people that have no desire to get better are going to say all kinds of nasty things about you to make themselves feel better because you left them in the dust. Let's go to Kathy next in Dallas, Texas. Kathy, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, how you doing, Ken Coleman? Thank you for taking my call.
Well, you bet, Kathy. I'm living the dream. What's going on?
Okay, that's great. Okay, well, I'd like to start off. I'm a police officer. I've been a police officer for about 10 years. Mm-hmm. And currently in my police role, I work in the medical field within like a hospital emergency room.
Okay.
But I've always have had like a side business like on Amazon, eBay, e-commerce, sales marketing, and I've really gained an interest and a passion of doing that on the side the past years. So what I'm getting to, I have a really passion for sales and marketing, and I've been thinking for quite some time, since 2017, of making a career change. This year, at the beginning of this year, I was actually offered a job at a startup company as a sales agent. Went through the process, and I was just waiting to take my PNC license through Texas Department of Insurance in March. However, due to the COVID-19, that was canceled and rescheduled for May the 5th. The company have been keeping back and forth with me and actually have checked up on me and updated my HR file. Now, I've reached out to them here recently because I haven't heard from them this month of April. Now, my concern is I was really wanting to transition. I've currently been injured at work in my current role as a police officer, so I'm actually going to work, not actually doing my regular duties, and I'm dealing with an integrity dilemma. I mean, should I continue to go to work knowing that I really don't want to be there? The environment is not conducive to how I feel, my thinking, none of my interests, and just collect a paycheck due to the COVID-19? Or should I go ahead and put my 2-week notice in, because I have no intentions of going back in full uniform, even once I get well physically, because I was hurt in the line of duty.
Okay, so let me ask. Let me clarify. So you haven't been offered the job yet, the sales job.
Oh, yeah. I signed my job offer back in January the 11th, and I went through the hiring process, and it was just conducive to me getting my PNC license, which I met with the VP, the sales manager, did all my phone interviews. They even let me work on the floor, to see what they're doing, and I really love the culture, the environment.
Okay, so hold on, slow down. I'm just trying to make sure I understand. So you're already in that job. You're just...
Yes, I'm already in the job. It's just everything just kind of got halt with the Texas Department of Insurance, because no one is there to administer the test back in March.
Are you getting paid? Are you getting paid?
No, I'm not getting paid.
Okay, can you go without pay? If you resign from the police force, can you go without pay?
Yes, for a good 5 or 6 months, I have a good savings.
Okay, then what do you think is going to be the date by which you start getting paid by this sales job that you've got, but you're not getting paid?
And that was the dilemma that I was calling you for today, to hear some of your expertise, because they are a startup company. A lot of small business they're independent private sales company, and a lot of small business have been hit with the economic traumas of this time. So I'm not sure where they stand, but I know I still have a job offer. I'm not sure their time frame is whenever they're going to start back.
Okay, I'm still confused. You're telling me you're waiting on a job offer, but I thought you told me you were already working for them. I'm still confused.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I got the job offer, but I needed to take my Texas Department of Insurance license test.
All right, so do not get on the floor. Okay, so do not leave the police force. I'm thrilled that you have 5 to 6 months expenses in the bank, but I'd rather you not have to touch that, because I think that there's nothing unethical about you continuing to be a police officer. You're not going to do a half-butt job. You're going to do a good job, right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, then. So you don't. Just because you know you're going to leave doesn't mean you stop working where you are, but there's nothing to leave to yet. And so until we get out of this coronavirus situation and they actually submit a full contract for you, or whatever it is, they make the offer concrete and you do the training and they go, okay, good, Kathy, we're ready to go. Until that happens, you do not resign the police force. It doesn't make any sense. Stay on the police force until you have an actual job to step into. That way, no interruption of income, and we don't touch the savings. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, I was just having a little integrity issue, because I didn't know whether once I passed my test May the 5th, which I'm still set to take it. Texas Department of Insurance haven't rescheduled that date, because due here in Texas we are having certain sections are operating normally. And once I have that, then I can go into the office. But then I was also concerned, how have they been impacted with the COVID-19?
Right. So my point is you've got questions you need answers to.
Yeah.
And I would be very, very uncomfortable with you leaving the police force until you know that you're supposed to step into this new opportunity. Okay?
Okay.
So that's my advice. I want to know more. I want it to be a real opportunity. Right now, it's like the boat may come by, it may not. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off because I really feel like that boat's going to come by. You know what I mean? And I just don't think that's smart. It's like, no. We're not going to jump in the water and tread water and hope that we don't drown while waiting for the boat to arrive. We wait for the boat to come by, and then we step effortlessly onto the boat. That's what I want you to do. Well, I'm having fun. I hope you folks are having fun. My time's almost up, but before I let you go, you matter, and you do have what it takes. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.